Hey guys, it's Chase here on Jimmy Master Animatronics, and today what I have for you is the Magic Power 6-foot tall Halloween life-size animated face ripper. This was sold at Sam's Club back in 2008, and this is an item that I didn't really get recently. I've had it for a little bit, but I just recently restored it last night, finally got it fully working. I got this off of my friend Jordan Gilliam. He had it listed for a little bit, and when I saw it, I contacted him on Messenger. I was like, hey, I'm interested in buying this. We ended up making a deal for it. It was a pretty decent deal. I don't remember how much it was, but it wasn't, anything like too ridiculous. It was a pretty all right price. So I had him pull it out of the box. He goes to take a video of it to test it, and the eye movement and the eye lights did not work in the video. Which I was like, okay, because I've had a couple of these before. They always end up having issues. I never necessarily had any issues with the eye lights or the eyes not moving, but I was like, okay, there could be a rubber belt off, or a wire off, or some whatever. And he actually, for those of you that don't know, he actually does have a pretty nice board in him. No micro components. He's got all the larger ones. So I was like, if he does end up having any issues like that, it's all right. I can just go in and replace whatever. You can replace micro components. It's just kind of a pain. I don't like doing it. But anyways, when I got him, unfortunately, not even one. Both hands had snapped on him. Both hands were original, and that's why I was so excited to get him, because you never see these with the original pegs or stuff on him. But they were both snapped in shipping, and I kind of figured that would happen, and I told him, I was like, they're gonna snap in shipping. He's like, oh, I'm gonna wrap it up good. I'm like, no, dude, you can't. They're going to snap in shipping. Lo and behold, when it gets here, they're both snapped. So it was a quick and easy fix. I'll show you. They're both just glued. There's none of that stupid, screw or anything like that, like going through it. None of that. It's all original. You can see there's glue right there, and there's a little bit of glue right there, and it's been holding ever since. It's Loctite glue. It's gonna hold on, forever. I can move this like this. These things are not going anywhere. They're on there very good. And then what I also did to fix it is there's a longer screw that's going into the so it's not even just going through the peg, it's going through the hand now. Because if you guys don't know, with this guy, the screw only goes to about halfway to hold, the peg on, which is, it's okay. But when you're going to ship it, when you go to ship it, when you put it back in the box, his head has to lean, sideways or forward or something. So there's always constant pressure on these points, especially if you have it sideways. Then there's constant pressure on just one side. So it's it's terrible. It's always there's pressure on either one of these, and they always break like that. So it's terrible. That's what I was like, yeah, it was gonna break in shipping. But it was an easy fix. They're not gonna break because there's a longer screw to it. It would be literally impossible. Unless the entire hand itself shatters, it's literally impossible for it to break, because the plastic isn't holding the hands anymore. It's now the metal screw. So the plastic just outer lining it, because that's original. I hate when people just have a screw going through it. You can see the metal, it looks terrible. I'm sorry guys, it just doesn't look good like that. But that's how I did mine. I feel like it's done professionally. But that was about it with things that were wrong with him. I did end up fixing the eyes and the eye lights. They were both wires off, and it was a pain because first I opened up around the board area to see if there's any noticeable wires off, because there are no wire harnesses on this. It is all just all the wires are directly soldered onto the board, which I can't stand, but that's how they are. I hate that. But no wires were off like that, and the wires are very thin too. So they do come off pretty easily from what I've seen. And then I go on the head, which you unfortunately have to remove the hair. You can kind of tell I did. You can see some of the original glue on there, which you weren't able to see before. I do need to go back and re-glue this around here. It's not you can't see it anywhere else on here, but in the front, I didn't pull it far down enough, so you can see some of the original glue, which doesn't really look the best. But I only put a little bit of hot glue right there, so I'm gonna bring it down more, because I don't like that you can see the original glue. You should not be able to see that. But they were both wires off when I opened up the head. One of them, it actually looked like, it almost looked like somebody cut the wires, which wasn't true. Like nobody had been inside this before, but it almost looked like somebody cut the wires to both of the eye lights because they're both completely just like, cut off, like they were snipped off. Like I don't know if the mechanism like pinched them or something, but they were both just completely broken off. So on top of resoldering them back, I also lengthened the wires on both of them, so they'll never, break off again. Like they're long now, they're not tugging or anything. So that's good now. And then with the eyes, there was a wire off on one of the motor wires. Not on the actual motor itself, but like there's a little mini board in the head too, where everything gets hooked up to, like all the power's distributed and stuff. And then there's a wire off on the wire that goes to the motor, so I reattached that. And then then the motor starts running. I'm like, okay, well, why is it still not running? Well, the rubber belt then came off on the eyes, and I was like, it can't really have snapped because usually they use like these colored belts that I've never had issues with. They never like really seem to snap or stretch out or anything like that. So I was like, well, it can't be snapped or anything. No, it popped off. So I painstakingly, without removing the mechanism or anything, I went in and I got those working. So then the eyes started working, and then the eye lights and everything, and it was working perfectly again. Really kind of a pain to get into the head and everything. I'm never going to go back in. But fortunately, you don't ever see these having issues with like split gears or really, locked up motors or anything like that. They're usually pretty good, pretty decent. I don't know what kind of motors they use. They're not the ones that Jemmy use, I don't think, but they are pretty good motors. With all that being said, he's fully working now. I like I said, I don't know if I said this. I remember seeing him in stores. I don't know if I said that in the beginning of the video. I remember seeing him in stores. He was sold with the inflatable cemetery arch, if you guys know what that is. It was all at Sam's Club. And he does have a Try Me on the base. And the only reason I'm bringing it up, that he was sold in stores, because I don't remember Sam's Club actually having like a Try Me button for him. Like when I saw him as a kid, like you actually had to go up to the base and like, push the button on his base. Like I would go up, stomp on the base and then run back, and he would start going off. He only had like one of his hands attached. I remember it was this hand that was attached. This one was broken off. So like it was only, one part was going down. Because kids, like they'll go up and they'll start tugging on the arms, and you can't. They already break off on their own by like him just moving without any kids pulling on him. So just imagine, some kid like trying to hang on the arms, like they do break. But there actually is a preventative for that. Magic Power, what they did, because these arms are so ridiculously heavy, there's actually a spring right here and a spring right here, which actually push the arms up. So there's not as much tension on the plastic pieces or on the springs that pull the mask back up. Obviously, you can see this one's hanging down a little bit. There's nothing you can do about that. These springs are as tight as it gets, and that's just how this is. There's nothing I can do about it, unfortunately. If I could, I would, but there's literally nothing I can do. I think the mouthpieces, or the mouth is, there it goes. So there's springs there's a spring right here and right here that like spring the arm in the like up position, and so when it's pulling it down, it's actually working against the spring. So this feels like weightless, basically. Now the spring was good on this arm, but it was detached on this one. So this one would just hang down and try to pull the face down a bit. Well, all I had to do was just rewind the spring and like put it around the part that catches it again. It was pretty easy. So now these hands are both pretty weightless, and his face goes up to like as much as it's going to. But with all that being said, I kind of already did a up close look at him, I guess. He's got a very nice costume. I like it. I mean, it's kind of like a cheap material, but it is an awesome costume. It's not faded or anything. This was obviously used only indoors, and he does have the box too. I'll show. I'm not really a big fan of the box. I mean, it's all right. It's a regular Magic Power box. They all have this size box. You can see he's got his tag down here, made in China, Magic Power. I think this is only printed on one side. Yeah, the artwork's only printed on one side. Then around, it's just, face ripper, and it like, talks about him. He's 70 inches tall. He is pretty tall. In the back, it's just face ripper, and then it's in different languages. So it is it's not my favorite box, but I'm really happy he does have the box. It's just, it looks a little plain to me. That's all it is, it's there's just like nothing like too cool about it. But I love that it has a box though, you know? I just feel like the box doesn't really go with him. Like he's got all these awesome vibrant colors, you know, he's got the purple and stuff. He's got that awesome, you know, black, gray, white hair, just the gray face, everything. Like everything's just so vibrant about him. And then you've got, you know, the box that just doesn't really look the best. And then the box, you can see his hair is supposed to be slicked back. I don't like doing that. I think, you know, it having, you know, messy a little bit looks a little bit better, you know. But, I mean, he is, you know, all dressed up in his suit and everything. I don't know if he's a zombie or a Frankenstein or what. But I guess he is supposed to look a little bit nicer. So you can, like, you know, brush his hair back a bit. And it is a very, you know, fuzzy hair. Like, it's a very, I like the material. Like, this will never tangle. Like, this is a very, you know, nice... I mean, it's obviously like super fake hair, but I mean, it feels very nice, like almost like an animal. But yeah, that's pretty much it with him. So I'll go ahead and activate him for you guys. One more thing I do want to say before the video gets too long. I believe there is a second model of this one. I'm not talking about the stupid Phantom one. Nobody like. I don't know if I don't really like that one. No, I mean, I think there was a second batch of this one made that has creepy cloth for the pants. The only reason I'm saying that is because my original, it had creepy cloth pants. Like this is a very fuzzy material. Now the Harrys, they actually have inflatable fabric going down, but this is a very, you know, fuzzy, like almost like sweatpant material. But the original one that I had creepy cloth going down. And I was like, well, this is really cheap, you know? So I think that there was a second batch of him made and that they gave him creepy cloth for the pants, which is terrible. But so I don't know, you know, what the deal with that is. Maybe mine wasn't original. I don't know. But it did feel pretty original because it had, you know, the waistband and everything, you know, just like this one does. Like it was the whole stitching and everything, like the whole pattern was the exact same as this. It was just creepy cloth. And it was a little faded, so it didn't really look that best or the best. But yeah, I will go ahead and edit him for you guys. He's got 2 phrases.
Hey, who goes there? Do you think your Halloween costume is really scary? I bet mine is even scarier. Here, let me show you. Hey, what are you looking at?
Does have an issue with the mouth, won't go back in place, but okay, is what it is. I mean, if you go back and, you know, and watch videos of him in stores, like that, they're even back in stores when he was just made, like they're not even going back into place. So I mean, if that kind of tells you anything, there might be a way to fix that. I don't know, but it's nothing wrong with mine. That's just how they are.
Come here.
That's my favorite phrase.
I want to show you something. Can you do this? Oh, you can you? Well then, can you do this? I didn't think so. Don't try that at home, kids.
These do have an issue where like the pitch of him will like dim in and out when all the movements are going. That there needs to be more capacitors on the board. There's a way to fix it. It's you know, I might go in eventually and, you know, give him a better board, you know, if I program it myself or something, because he does have the opportunity to work, you know, super nice. And, you know, even lift his face up all the way, you know, as it's supposed to, because of, like, that's just a matter of like where the relay is placed. But there's ways that he can be better. And yeah, I agree that, you know, he probably isn't made the best. You know, I mean, he's always broken, you know, like this is probably, you know, one of the best examples you'll see. I mean, any collector owning these is usually the best example, because like anybody or any collector will, like, you know, fix them all up and everything. I don't know about to this extent, but I mean, you know. So he is made pretty cheap, unfortunately, but I still think he's an awesome piece. Maybe it's just, you know, my childhood talking, because I remember seeing him as a kid, but I think he's an awesome piece. This is definitely one that you use indoors. You don't use this one outdoors. He will get, he will get like destroyed outdoors. I was gonna say something else, but this is a family channel. He will get destroyed outdoors. It's terrible for outdoors. I mean, with how thin, his shirt is, like all the, like, 'cause this is like, this is like airbrushed and stuff. Like all of this will fade, like there's the mold will get all over him. Like this is like, again, like he's made of like a pajama material, and like and the inside of this is like a hospital gown type of, like this is, it's just not the best. So do not use him outside. But yeah, that's pretty much it with him. Really hope you guys enjoyed. I'll get up close, for him going down. I'd like to do the second phrase because I like when the eyes flash, like to the sound of lightning and thunder. But yeah, I already skipped that phrase. And you can't skip the phrase. Like once you push on the button, like he has to go. Like he won't. Like you can't stop him once he's gone.
Hey, who goes there? Do you think your Halloween costume is really scary? I bet mine is even scarier. Here, let me show you. Hey, what are you looking at?
So yeah, guys, really hope you guys enjoyed. This is the 2008 Magic Power Face Ripper. He's an awesome prop. I do not recommend him because he will break on you. But if you know what you're doing with him, again, I'm just trying to like push the mouth back up into place. If you know what you're doing, and you know that he's probably not going to arrive in good shape, totally get him because it's a great prop. But if you are just kind of like starting to get into animatronics and you don't really know about fixing these things, he's not a good beginner prop. He is not. This is a project. This is a project prop, and even so, like I've been told that I'm risking the hands snapping just by having them up. But I'm telling you guys, they're not going anywhere. Again, I can do this, and they're not moving. Like there's a screw going all the way through right here. It is a very thick screw, and it's not going to break it. Like there's all the weight is on the screw right now. It's not on the plastic. So it's not going to break. So yeah, I really hope you guys enjoyed, and I will see you guys again next time.